Alright, so I was in the middle of doing a live stream video, but they hacked in and they turned it off. Um, Today was a day just like yesterday was a day, and they are going to start. It wasn't blinking when I started. As soon as I started talking, they started hitting the light with direct energy weapons, so you're gonna see it blink in the background. Um, Today was a day, and I document everything. Um, After performing many tasks that my supervisor asked me to perform, um, she asked me to change a pallet of water. She asked me like once. My coworkers told me about it and I was getting to it, but then she asked me to do it specifically, so I did it. I was in the middle of changing out the pallets, moving the smaller pallet, whatever, and I needed her permission as to where she wanted me to put this water because we didn't have a place on the shelves to put them. So what she did is she told me put them on the shelves. She didn't tell me the price, so she just said put them on the shelves in empty spaces. We can't leave them on the pallet because it's a safety hazard. So I moved the big pallet in its place, and while me and her was having that conversation, after she got finished telling me everything she needed to tell me, I dropped the pallet. But my coworker's foot was underneath the pallet. So his toe got hurt. I didn't expect his foot to be under the pallet. I asked ChatGPT, I explained the situation, and I was like, well, who's at fault? Because I genuinely didn't think I was at fault. She said, as a supervisor, I was supposed to be aware of spatial awareness since I was operating the pallet jack. So I'm not saying that I'm fully wrong. What she's saying is that his negligence contributed to the entire situation because who has their foot underneath the pallet jack when someone's operating it? It's not the smartest thing to do. Either way, but every single thing that goes wrong in that store, just like every single thing in this life, they have been programmed to blame me for everything my whole life. My whole life. Anything that goes wrong, Javon has something to do with it. Even though that isn't my character, I'm very vigilant. I'm hyper vigilant. I've never gotten hurt at work. I rarely need to go to the hospital. I've never broken a bone. I've always been cautious, especially knowing that the voice to slow technology is in my head and they're trying to curate a negative narrative. So no one's been downstairs all day. So after that incident, came home. You know what? So I stopped the video because I didn't want any drama. Um, I don't do drama. I try to avoid drama. You have sirens playing in the background, and then you have this muffled noise that is also going on in the background. You also have the voice to skull technology going, the nano communication, and the broadcast going as well. They started a fire today, which destroyed my brother's car. And I believe that they started this with the satellites. Um, Afterwards, when I arrived home in one of my videos, and I already posted it, there was barely any wind blowing. When I was outside putting out the fire, the wind was blowing extremely hard because they wanted to keep the fire going. Through the voice to skull technology, they told me, we want to burn you alive too. So my dad was in the front and he was trying to put out the fire. I didn't have my phone to record. I had rushed out and immediately just started trying to put out the fire. This is the first fire I've ever had to deal with that was like a blaze, but I'm used to fire. So I just got the water hose from the backyard and I started spraying the water from behind while he was in front. And just immediately took care of it. Just made sure that it didn't get past the fence line to burn his car that was in the backyard. Um, this comes after them trying to disturb my day off for yesterday, where they had the neighbor playing North campaign. all day long for about 6 to 7 hours, and I recorded that. Then you had the situation at work today. They have their little gang stalker. It's called workplace mobbing, where you have all the coworkers uh, talking or gossiping about one person, especially the person that's just doing all the work. So it's gang up on the hardest worker, just like what the government does, gang up on the most responsible person, the most honorable person. Satanism hates those characteristics. Um, it's not about the targeted individual being perfect. It's about them being better than they are, and they want you to be the worst version of yourself because that's what Satanism is. Give in to your desires, give in to your urges, give in to your greed, worship yourself. Um, that's what Satanism is, and that's what this program is about. It's all about being the worst version of yourself and indulging in the worst things that the world has to offer. Living in the material world, foregoing all spirituality and only living for self and the cult that you worship and the gods that you serve. So they did the most today. They did the most yesterday. They've been doing the most since I woke up in this system and I started recording and documenting. But now I'm studying their laws and their rules, and I have more time to study their laws and their rules. And I planned on going back to school to get my master's. Like, it's a lot of progress happening. And the last thing they want from a targeted individual, especially me, again, graduating from school with my master's, would be an extreme accomplishment. I would be the first person in my family with a master's as a targeted individual getting hit by these direct energy weapons. And being tortured at the same time while telling my truth every day. So the last thing they want is progress. I'm not worried about my job. I feel like incidents do happen, but if something does happen, I will look for another job. I'm licensed. I have multiple licenses on top of my degree, and I'm not going to stop until I find another job. Been there, done that. I'm going to keep it moving. I'm going to make it happen regardless. Um, The problem is it's just constant harassments and constant setbacks as you're trying to make progress because you have these entities constantly coming after you on a daily basis. And yes, it gets exhausting, but there's a reason that they're coming after me. There's a reason that they're coming after targeted individuals. They did something wrong, they don't want to be caught. And you're strong enough, and I'm strong enough as a person, as a single individual, strong enough to literally bring down dynasties of Satanism, centuries of corruption, people both living and dead, vindicated for everything because this system is becoming more and more public and more exposed. And I'm a survivor of Xerxes so far.